What's going on, guys? I wanted to kind of take an opportunity to review a lot of the different earnings platforms, crypto earnings platforms, some of the ones that I'm in and some of the ones I'm not in, and just kind of do an overview. Overall, they're not really doing very well right now. This is just not a great time for these types of platforms. They were doing a lot better, I think, in the later part of last year, 2018. A lot of them have not been doing well, kind of like heading into the crypto winter, if you want to look at it that way. Like basically, like the entire market as a whole has kind of has really kind of dropped. Kind of like December seemed to be the time period when everything had really kind of bottomed out, and everything still hasn't really recovered yet. I'm not sure if that's really affecting these platforms or not. Some of them have a lot of skepticism behind them, so there's certainly some things that could have gone better. So like some of the probably the two biggest ones that I've been in have been Arbitraging and Novachain, and both of those have kind of gone dormant ever since everything is really kind of has not really been paying out like how it has been in the past, and there's a lot of negativity and a lot of people that are questioning the whether or not these platforms are going to be sustainable in the future. So arbitraging is still working in the background to get a lot of different developments online that they've been working on. There's been a lot of different rumors. I'm not really going to go into a whole lot of that, but I'm still fairly optimistic that they're going to pull through at some point once some of these things come through. I don't think it's going to happen where we're going to see like a drastic, increase in token price. I mean, some of the rumors are that it wouldn't take a whole lot of money to really, kind of like blow out the order book. And there have been times in the past where, there's been, some big moves in the market where they've been able to kind of move the price of their own token. But the price has really, I'm just taking a look at the price here. The price is like flatlined, if we're kind of looking at, like this was kind of back in the December, kind of during the block exchange period. And this was when there wasn't necessarily the free market. And when essentially once the free market came in, you saw, the price pretty much tank, and has flatlined here. So there's been a lot of animosity for people that are in this platform that it's going to come back. One of the encouraging things has been a lot of the volume. There's been, increase in volume, basically in the months of April and March. I'm invested in it. I'm pretty heavily invested in it, and so I'm hoping that it does well and it comes back. There's a lot of people that are invested in it that are, pretty upset. That it's where it's at, and so it's just kind of one of those platforms I feel like that is going to need some time to recover, and that's kind of what I'm hoping for. But I haven't been able to pull anything out since the announcement, basically in March, and pretty much lately it's been the gas has been one of the big issues, where that's the only price, the thing that's kind of been stabilizing the price, kind of where it's at. But it's not profitable right now to run your ABOT, with the gas fees. And so, but there's a lot of things that supposedly been in the works. And when they came out and did some of the announcements with their cards, what they've said recently is that there was a lot of attempts to sabotage the platform in terms of calling some of the people that they were partnering with. I guess there was this is what David was saying on Kinetic Energy's live stream, is that there were guys that were calling the bank, once they figured out who it was, and impersonating FBI officers, and just doing some really malicious things. And apparently, I guess that bank deal didn't go through, and now they've gone through and been able to set up partnerships with three banks as opposed to one. But they're not. I guess they don't want to unveil a lot of the stuff that they're working on, because there have been other competing entities that have been looking to sabotage some of those effects. And so one of those platforms has been the one that I've been kind of exposing, which was the Envasio one, where they they pretty much were the biggest scam ICO of 2018, and now they're looking to copy some of the things that some of these earning platforms are doing. They're coming out with their ShotSling platform, and so what they're trying to do is sabotage a lot of the platforms that are out there right now to draw attention to their competing product. And so that's like they set up like a fake Telegram, and we're sending out all of these fake announcements for arbitraging. The amount of time that these guys spend on Telegram, just spreading FUD and things like that, is pretty ridiculous. But I guess that's one of the things you're just going to have to kind of deal with. But I think part of what they're planning to do is just to roll out what they're going to be, what they've been working on, and as opposed to giving kind of insights into what's going to be rolled out because of some of the things that they've experienced. Novachain's price has really tanked as well. That's been one of the other platforms that I've been in that hasn't been really doing as well. They came out with their T-Rex, which was a high frequency trading bot on Binance, but it hasn't been really doing as well. Like I've been in, like my bots have been off, so I signed up for it and I got involved with it, but like it just hasn't, like I haven't really been able to realize a whole lot of profits, with that. And so like the token price has really been collapsing as well. And I think part of it too is a lot of people that were in arbitraging were in Novachain, and because of that, if they were unable to really sell any kind of profits that they had in Novachain, or in arbitraging, they're coming over to Novachain, and that was having perhaps an impact on price. But let me bring up the exchange here real quick. So I've just been on Reinvest, with this. Just taking a look at the exchange. Like we can see, like just ever since March, it's really been coming down, a lot. So what is it currently at, like 7 cents? So volume's been down. One of the things that I think is still kind of interesting, like I haven't touched my account or done anything. This is actually all from the Masternode earnings. So a lot of the fees that are in the exchange are distributed amongst token holders in the exchange. So there's a little bit of a few differences with that platform, the Novabox. But like with T-Rex, I'll show you guys my T-Rex. Like I got into the 4 bots you can see here, but like all of my bots are off, and they've been off for a while. So I don't have enough funds really to trade with on some of these. And so once it kind of starts making a few different trades or whatnot, it's just like it trips it. And so I haven't had a very good experience with it. But they are coming out with their T-Rex pool, and they've had a couple of different announcements with some of the things that they're doing with that. So we'll see. But those have been like the 2 bigger ones, and both of them are not doing very well. Dropple is one that looks promising. They're coming out with their Jade trading bot, which I guess I don't really know a whole lot about, but the Jade is kind of their newest development, and it's going to kind of be paired with DEX. So like you can see here, like DEX earns you drops through our automated trading. Jade offers a personalized automated trading experience on your own trading exchanges. So I imagine it's similar to some of the things that that NovaChain's coming out. Like NovaChain has their high frequency trading bot on Binance. Arbitraging is coming out with their shadow trading and a lot of their developments. It's going to be on a lot of different exchanges, but it's not really ready to roll out just yet. But it sounds like it's close. It sounds like according to some of the stuff that was unveiled in like the conversation that Kinetic had with David, it's going to be about 2 weeks away. So I wish they were able to come out and be a little bit more communicative, or talk a little bit more about some of the stuff. But I guess they've been advised not to do that by their legal representatives that they have now, because of all of a lot of the stuff that's been going on. Because they're the number one, or have been the number one platform in this kind of niche. They've come under a lot of attack lately, and so hoping it turns around. But right now it's been like everything's just been kind of down in terms of that. So some of the other ones I'm in, Evo AI. Looks like Evo AI is going to launch soon. Like if we take a look, like they were kind of in their ICO phase. And they were kind of had this private sale, the pre-sale, where they were selling a few here, and they just never really got out of the ICO round one. And the price currently at 55 now. I was in Evo AI's like beta and some of the things they were doing, and it looks promising. Like I really feel like they just need to come out and launch, and I think that's what they're going to do. So Evo AI. When they do end up launching, I think it's going to be a good one. But there's they just haven't been selling a whole lot of tokens. I think that I don't know if the ICO is really the way to go with some of those. But Crystal Token is another one I'm in. I don't have that much in Crystal Token. And I put the links to a lot of these platforms I'm in. But Crystal Token is like, I guess I need to do a little bit more research on them. Like I know that like some of the stuff that they were doing, like they had some BitMEX bots, and they had a few different bots that they had within their platform. But I don't know if they're going to be like the only thing that I'm in with Crystal Token right now is like they have like I forget the name of it, but basically it's kind of like a monthly compounding thing. You only make you don't make that much, but you're earning a little bit. So there's I think that they are still kind of new, and they're still kind of rolling out some different things as well. Torque AI is one that hasn't launched quite yet. I left the link to their Telegram below. I've been working with these guys a little bit. They're from India and Dubai, and they are going to be doing kind of like they already been doing trading bots for I want to say about a year and a half or so. They have right now I guess they're going to be rebranding to Torque Labs but they have some different kind of trading signals that they're doing, and most of their Telegram is kind of more of news at this point. But they're getting ready to kind of launch some of the things that they're getting ready to unveil. But they're going to be kind of like another one to kind of diversify into. It's kind of the way I'm looking at it. So those are kind of a lot of the main kind of centralized earnings platforms, if you kind of want to look at it that way. When you're kind of looking a little bit more in more of a decentralized route, you have a lot of the Tron dApps. So right now, Credits has been the one that I got into this kind of late, but if you got in, a lot of people that got in super early have already made ROI. But the I don't know if we're going to show too much, but credits like the daily one's going to be it's going to be getting phased out. I don't think this is going to show correctly. The daily is, yeah, I mean this one is retiring. Like I didn't have very much in that as well. Like I think I barely made like ROI on that one, and I didn't get into the luck. But in terms of the Tron dApps, this is the one that kind of looks like it's been it has maybe the most potential. Like if we're looking at the Tron dApps on Dapp Radar, I know there's a lot of YouTubers that have gotten way more into the Tron dApps than I have. So like the Tron Bet 888, a few of these other ones, but Bankroll used to be much higher. Used to be like a top 3, along with Tron Bank, which kind of died out. I mean those, you know, I was pretty much saying that those were not sustainable. You know, in there, they were kind of just like these hourglass. I don't know if hourglass style contracts is the best way to put it, but just high interest, you know, kind of decentralized style contracts. I got into this P3T. I didn't put too much into this, but I put like 2,000 Tron in here. I mean, this is like a P3D style contract that you can make like a little bit. Like I just pulled out. I had like a few hundred Tron in there. So I make a little bit on all of these different apps, but the P3T, I mean, it's been. Let me search for it here. I don't think that this one is really. I know this one was had a much, like if you're looking at the all time, like it really. It had its time kind of like early March, late March, and it's really kind of died off. So I'll probably look a little bit more in the Tron dApps, see if there's a few other ones that might be worth getting into. But I don't know. Like I feel like I only want to get into like 1 or 2, maybe 3 of the Tron dApps. Like some of the guys that are getting into all these different Tron dApps, they're in all of them. So like I don't think I really want to get that invested into the different Tron dApps, but that's kind of I'm willing to get into like a couple of them. Let me check on the chat a little bit. X Pro with Tron Bank launches in under 8 hours with a different ROI structure. I figured like Tron Bank was coming back with something else. Let me look at Tron Bank. Like I didn't guess right now they have like they're on BitTorrent token, BTT, X Pro. Okay, I guess that's what this is. Oh, looks interesting. Might be worthwhile getting into. But I ended up losing a little bit, not a whole lot, but I didn't put a whole lot in. A lot of people are getting into some of these contracts or playing with a lot more Tron in some of these. So the other one that I've been talking a little bit about has been well, it was Bitcoin Hex, but now it's just Hex. They kind of dropped the Bitcoin. This is going to be like the first certificate of deposit on the blockchain. And I think this one has a lot of potential. So free for Bitcoin holders. But yeah, they're like basically trying to become like a store of value, replacing gold, offshore banking, credit cards, certificate of deposit. So pretty ambitious project. A little bit complicated when you first start getting into it. There's a lot of it's simplistic in just like the claiming period of just moving your Bitcoin to a wallet and claiming, just getting your tokens and staking. And there's after that there's a lot of game theory involved with it, a lot of complexity to it. But this was, I think, going to be a really good one to incorporate. I think this is going to be one I'm going to be doing maybe a video on once a week or so, just kind of getting a little bit more in depth into that project. But one of the big reasons why I like it is just kind of some of the people that are behind it are really intelligent crypto blockchain people, and namely Richard Hart, but a lot of the other people that are in the Telegram groups as well are very knowledgeable in this area. A lot of dev types, a lot of a lot of guys that are getting a little bit into like the technical analysis, trading, which I've gotten a little bit more away from lately, just because of the traveling that I've been doing. Also wanted to talk a little bit about some of the platforms I'm not in. So like I'm not in one of the bigger ones has been Moonbird. I'm not in Moonbird, but my girlfriend got into it, and so she's been getting into it a little bit. So if you guys are interested in Moonbird, I put her link in the description below, and the Telegram for you get into that. They did an AMA not too long ago where they kind of went a little bit more in depth with some of the trading activity and the actual kind of doing a little bit more transparency behind their trading activity. Some of the criticisms behind it is, like if you are trading, like why do you need, your own token, your own coin, much like some of these other platforms have their own token or coin. So there's the whole element of trying to stay away from some of the securities laws, namely like the SEC or entities like that in other countries. So I don't know, but it does have like a big kind of network marketing element to it. So there's 8 different levels, people that are affiliate referral levels in terms of like building teams and networks. So that was one of the reasons why I thought it might be good for like my girlfriend, because she can connect with a lot of my networks in Vietnam, a lot of my friends in Vietnam that are a little bit trying to stay away from anything MLM ever since BCC went down, and a lot of those have a pretty negative stigma in the U.S. But the actual payouts in terms of the kind of like all the different levels with Moonbird, it's not paid out by the company. It's like the 5% that you're that's taken out from like when you're investing, you're putting in. So it's all on the investor side. So it's just a structure to incentivize people to build networks and downlines and that sort of thing, which was kind of reminiscent of BCC. And then there's a few other ones, like Cloud Token was one. I'm probably not going to be getting into these platforms at all, but I don't know a whole lot about them. So I put the Telegram group for Cloud Token if you guys are interested in checking it out, and several of the these binary platforms. So EXP Asset, FX Trading, VCI International, Vexa Global. There's several of these like binary style cryptocurrency platforms. Some of the criticisms behind like the binary structure is if you are someone that gets into these platforms early, say you have like $1 million and you want to spearhead one of these binary style platforms, what you would do is like you would put in like $100,000, and then a binary structure, since you have those 2 legs, you would put in $100,000, another $100,000, and then underneath those, like kind of in that pyramid, binary style structure, you could basically build a, kind of a referral system where, because of the structure of the binary, you'd be getting over 40% of your money back when you initially put in larger amounts of money. That doesn't really work if you're not putting in a whole lot of money. So if you only put in, if you're not putting in big money, it doesn't really work the same way. So it really incentivizes larger investors to get in early and to really kind of spearhead like the marketing campaign behind it, because that's one of the biggest challenges with a lot of these styles of platforms is the marketing, is getting the word out there. So I mean, I got into some of the mining binary structures in Vietnam, which didn't go well. So there was like the Osama one, the IE Miner. Those were the two that I got into, and there was a few others that I didn't get into that were being pitched, by a lot of my Vietnamese friends. But I'm really skeptical of the sustainability of some of those style of platforms. It seems just like a kind of a different MLM style scheme. I have a little bit more faith behind something like Moonberg, but I don't know. There's I've been watching some of the people that have been kind of I've been watching some videos of people that have been critiquing it, and they bring up some really valid points. So it's kind of high risk. So that's why I put those more towards the bottom of the list. I mean, those ones, if you guys are feeling a little bit more risky, this might be something to check out. But I'm not going to be getting in those. I mean, I'm already dealing with a lot of the risk with some of the platforms I've been in, and just hoping that some of those recover. They haven't gone away, so I haven't exited yet, but none of them are doing well. But that's just kind of the earnings platforms as a whole. Is not not doing well at this point. So maybe there's a kind of a time for some of these. If we see a little bit more of a bullish market, perhaps we see some of these platforms do better. Right now, they just aren't performing the best. But better rent out the bike in the back. I don't know what's going on with Evo AI and the launch. I was thinking that they were, weren't like, the ICO just wasn't doing very well. Like, no one was really buying tokens. Like, people were doing videos on their progress with it. Like, I was doing a few videos on it, but I just feel like they just need a launch. Like, people, if they're successful and they're doing well, I think they'll grow organically. But will you be investing in the Rex pool? Probably. I mean, they say they're doing pretty well. They're doing pretty well. Crest Token's another one. I don't know much about Crest Token, but I've seen a few other people talking about it. Evo AI announced they will launch their manual bot in 4 weeks and their EVA bot in 6 weeks. Okay, so there you go. They sold around 60,000 so far during ICO. Done with the most part with crypto since I got into Forex. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'll be getting into Forex. Crest is monetized coin 2.0. Yeah, I don't know enough about it. But I figure it's at least worthwhile adding to the list. So I'm gonna have the platforms I'm in, but also platforms I'm not in, but I'm watching. If some of these start doing well, or maybe offer a little bit more transparency. I know probably the biggest one that a lot of my Vietnamese friends has been the FX trading. That seems to be been doing well. I don't know, the binary structures of those platforms scared me a little bit. That's why I've been a little bit hesitant to get in some of those. But in all honesty, all of them haven't been doing all that well. Nexo token, 6.5% dividends for lending your crypto. I don't see how that's sustainable at all, but I know that there's a demographic for people that are getting into some of those super high yield investment platforms, but I don't really have the risk tolerance to be getting into some of those. Even 1% a day is a bit crazy for me. But anyways, that's just kind of my review for the platforms that I'm kind of looking at, and I'm in. If you guys have some more that you guys want me to check out or at least add to the list, I mean, I don't mind kind of I'll probably come back and review kind of all of the earnings platforms as a whole, and add some of the ones that, at least the ones that I'm not in, but others have been in and are at least seeing some success with. Um, but that's kind of where I'm at with these ones. So the ones I'm in, I'm just kind of in a holding pattern. They just have kind of gone dormant, and so I'm hoping that they recover. But a lot of FUD from those. People are pissed that they just kind of aren't doing as well. But we'll see.